Welcome to Championship Wrestling 85. I'm Gordon Solie. Welcome to Championship Wrestling 85. I'm Gordon Solie, your host. With me, of course, is Buddy Colvin. Buddy, well, we've got a tremendous amount of action upcoming during this next hour.
Yes, we really do. For one thing, the World's Heavyweight Wrestling Champion Ric Flair will be here today for a special Take 5 interview. Now, tonight, there's big matches in Lakeland, Florida, and on the 19th in Sarasota. And, Gordon, I would like to congratulate you. Quite an honor has been bestowed upon you just recently. You have been named the NWA Television Announcer of the Year.
Well, thank you very much. It was Pro Wrestling Illustrated that came out with that.
That's right.
Certainly is a pleasure. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I'd also like to remind you, too, that we'll be wrestling, of course, in Fort Pierce on the 14th, Fort Lauderdale on the 16th. The Florida Heavyweight Championship has been held up. We'll have more on that a little bit later on in the program. And we're going to hear from the boss man today. That's right, the boss man will be heard from today here on Championship Wrestling 85. We have brand new U.S. Tag Team Champions. I'd like to bring them out and introduce them at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, the new U.S. Tag Team Champions, Mark and Jay Youngblood. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Gordon. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for the support they've given Mark and I. To go up against, for these United States Tag Team belts. Mark and I have worked hard, and we've gone all over the world as a tag team, and we finally defeated the Russians. That's right, Kruschev and Neidhart. They are no longer United States champions. And like I said, in behalf of myself and Mark, we'd like to thank everybody, and we want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. And, the support has been tremendous throughout the arenas all over the state of Florida. And I guarantee you that Mark and I are going to defend these belts to our best ability for you people out there and for the people that have supported us in the past.
Thank you so very much, Mark and Jay Youngblood, the new U.S. Tag Team Champions. However, we do have some previously recorded comments from the Cuban Connection. I'm referring, of course, to Krusher, Kruschev, and Big Jim Neidhart, and the Saint. And we might listen to those comments right now, if you please.
Ever since you and Michael Hayes came in here, you screwed up everything. I can't take it no more.
Everything was going along beautifully. We're the champs. Nobody can beat us. And Big Bad Michael Hayes, the big Freebird, with his little T-Berry shuffle, real cute rock star, and this American hippie, Hayes Dutch Mantell, come here, thinks he's a big shot. Nobody would have beat us. We still have the belt if it wasn't for these two. And they had to jump in and screw up everything. Well, let me tell you something, Krusher, and let me tell you something, Saints. They made a very, very bad mistake because there are some bodies that will have to pay some heavy dues. When we go through Mantell and Hayes, we're going to rip the heart out of Youngblood.
Michael Hayes has joined us. I asked him to come out because I wanted him to hear these comments by the Cuban Connection also. You promised us last week, Mike, that one of the Freebirds will be here with you today.
Well, first of all, Gordon, as far as the Cuban Connection goes, I heard him knocking me and Dutch Mantell, saying they were going to get rid of us. Baby, I am just like rock and roll. I am here to stay, and if you don't like it, that's too bad. You can pack your bags and go on. Now, as far as Buddy, I don't think our lifestyle is any secret to anybody out there. Buddy got in late last night. We went out. We were out late. I got tired. I went on back. Buddy stayed out later. I just talked about 15 minutes ago, and he got a little bit lost, but he promised he's going to be here. Dutch went to pick him up, so I ain't no liar. I said I'd have one of my brothers here, and he'll be here before the show's over. I'm sorry he ain't here now, but he will be here.
Okay,
Gordon. Hope everybody had a Happy New Year. I did.
Amen. Yeah, I can believe it, too, I'll tell you. All right, so there we have it. We'll be seeing the Freebird, Buddy Roberts, a little bit later on. Right now, though, we do have a match in the ring. It's Pistol Test Whatley moving out against Randy Barber. Whatley, of course, is the Southern Heavyweight Champion. The referee is Bill Alfonso. And, Buddy Colt, I'll tell you what. This Randy Barber is getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
Well, Randy Barber, of course, is a greatly improved wrestler. He's been around for several years now. Right now, he's perhaps charged a little bit too fast against a man like Pistol Pez Watley. Pistol Pez Watley, of course, being from the Chattanooga of Tennessee, University of Tennessee.
Right, University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. You got it.
Right. Got all the words there scrambled. But Pistol Pez Watley has been the Southern Heavyweight Wrestling Champion for quite some time now, taking on all challengers. Randy Barber would really have a feather in his cap if he could come out victorious against a man like Pistol Pez.
No question about that. It's Randy Barber connecting with a couple of hard right. A good block by Watley, and Watley dropped him with a hard right hand.
Very nice snap there. Well, Randy Barber is down and in a little bit of trouble. Nothing serious at this time. It's going to take more than that to put him out. It looks like a side salvo coming up. Now, this is serious. This could be a pinfall here.
Good gut wrench salto, and it's Barber getting that foot up on the ring rope. That forces the break. Pistol Pez Watley, good clean break, steps back, giving Barber plenty of time, and Barber taking plenty of time. Watch Watley watching his man, stalking him carefully. He's not going to charge in foolishly, that's for sure. They lock it up. Full arm drag and twist once again by Pistol Pez Watley.
You know, of course, many moves in professional wrestling are designed to wear your opponent out, soften him up, get ready for the so-called coup de grace. Here's a nice double wrist lock takedown, coming up, still having that arm in a overhand wrist lock there. And many times the wrestler would just really work on his opponents to loosen them up, get ready for that big pin, get them softened up. And here's Pistol Pez just coming down with a good right up on the forehead there, and Randy Barber very smartly and wisely backing up, trying to get his wind back to reconnoiter and come back again.
And Barber complaining to the referee, but Pistol Pez Watley's tactics have all been completely above board. Watley does not like to take a shortcut unless he's forced to it, but brother, he can fear six if he has to.
Boy, you bet he can. That man, he can go. He can go to Fist City. Well, there's a little bit of a karate chop that Randy Barber did on, and the throw to Pistol Pez, that might have been a mistake. Looks like Pistol Pez is starting to get a little excited for that. He is. He's going to go.
Barber's head jammed into the turnbuckle. A headbutt by Pistol Pez. Watley puts Barber back to the canvas again, and Watley closes right in on him. The Southern Heavyweight Champion, and he has been a fighting champion. Irish whip off the ropes. Caught him. Got him coming off the ropes. He gets a 3 count. He gets a 3 count. And so a well-deserved victory goes to the Southern Champion, Pistol Pez Watley.
Back Street in Atlanta, PA. Back Street in the whole USA. Back Street, happy and high.
Michael Hayes didn't even get a chance to get his jacket off before Medina was on top of him. Hayes in his street clothes because Buddy Roberts, the Freebird, has got his wrestling gear with him. So Michael Hayes is having to go on and wrestle with his street clothes, but that doesn't seem to be hampering him a bit in the world, buddy.
Well, it looks like Jose Medina might have made a very big mistake because he got the Michael Hayes a little bit irritated, and he is making short work. Bad Street USA looks like it's going down there for Ben, and it's all over.
Use that Oklahoma Stampede and use it. Wait a second. Wait a second. The Saint and the Russians closing in. Big Jim Neidhart, Krusher, Kruschev, and... Hey, brother. Wait a minute. He's got a scissors.
Look at that, hey.
They got Michael Hayes down, and they've got a scissors. No, sir. The Youngbloods suddenly charge into the ring. Mark and Jay Youngblood charging into the ring. And so it's Neidhart, the Saint, and Kruschev leaving the area, but they had intentions of cutting his hair. There's no question about that. We'll be back We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Just a minute, though. I see Michael Hayes coming over to the desk, and he had a very,
Let me tell you something, Gordon Solie. Let me tell you Russian something, you damn communist pig. You come over here, and you knock rock and roll. You knock our American ways. You say you don't like it. If you don't like it, you can pack your bags and get the hell out of here. But when you try and cut this, brother, this is my hair. This is my pride. And if you don't like this long-haired country boy, you just better leave him alone, Jack. Now, I'm going to tell you what, man. It's one thing to fight somebody. You go to cut my hair, and we talking about pride.
Well, I can understand how you feel, Michael.
No, you can't understand, man. I've had to fight my way up to become who I am all my life. And I ain't gonna let some punks do this to me. So, when my brothers get here, man, you be ready. That's right. When the rest of the Freebirds get here, you be ready for a butt-kicking, man. Because like I said before, bad streets USA. The further you go down the block, the better it got. And you ain't never tried to come down no street like that.
Hey,
Makes me sick, Gordon.
Well,
Uncalled for.
what goes here?
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Where you been?
Hey, we had a wild party last night. I'm sorry. Hey,
No, we mean wild party. Where you been, buddy?
hey, I woke up on the beach. I just had 10 cups of coffee. What's the problem?
What do you mean, what's the problem? Nothing much. These guys just try to cut my hair.
Who tried to cut your hair?
Those Russians.
What Russian?
What do you mean, what Russians? The guys I asked you to come in here for, the Russians.
Where are they right now?
Where you think they are? They're in their dressing room.
Where's the dressing room?
They're right there. But
Well, what are we standing here for? Let's go get him. Hey, nobody mess with my brother. Come on. Where's the dressing room? Where?
Brother, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They went straight back to the dressing room, and...
You know, this is something I've never seen. They just went right into the dressing room. Oh, here comes one.
We got up here 6 going here. Buddy Roberts, the Freebird, he's got the bad laceration on Big Jim Neidhart. He's using that boot like a shillelagh. And, boy, they are clearing the ring. The Saint, everybody is cleared out. We've got to get some... They've torn up everything. We'll be... Well, they've made their point, and they've made it very quickly and very clearly.
I tell you what, I came here getting business. And you know what? I was going to say the party's over. Well, I'll tell you what, the party's not over. We're going to play Pin the Donkey, and we're going to pin them right to the man all over the state of Florida. Michael,
No, I don't care. He's coming with me to Lakeland tonight. Wherever I go, my brothers are going to be here. And I make a promise. We're running them Russians out of here. If we don't, our name ain't the Freebirds and Dirty Dutch Mantell.
let's go. We're being late.
It's going to take more than a tag team match, that's for sure. Steel cage, tornado match, whatever it takes. They'll do it, I'm sure of that. We'll be right back. I want to take a moment right now to talk to the Florida heavyweight champ. Freudian slip on my part, but the man I really feel should be the Florida heavyweight champion. However, that belt has been held up, and a most unusual circumstance surrounded you in a recent battle royal when you ended up, of all things, it was a 2-ring triple chance over the top rope battle royal. The last 2 men left in ring 1 battled the last 2 men left in ring 2, and it ended up you and Jesse Barr as partners.
Well, you know, that's the way that the rules were outlined in the Battle Royal, Gordon. It was certainly a shock to me, but, nevertheless, it was something that I had to expect. However, I didn't expect the situation that prevailed.
No, and I'll tell you what, rather than talk about it, let's take a look at the situation as it did occur. Here's the Battle Royal in progress. And as you can see, men are being hurdled. There's somebody going over the top rope at that point in time. And, of course, in this match, the Battle Royal continues until there was only 2 men left in ring 1 and 2 men left in ring 2. And at that point, those two teams, if you will, for lack of a better word, then battle each other for the $15,000.
Right, exactly, Gordon. The team left in ring 1 will wrestle the ring in team 2. As you see right there, Tully Blanchard and Krusher Kruschev won the ring number 1. Now it's down to ring number 2. Everybody's fighting there. $15,000 is a lot of money, you know, and even though you're dividing it $7,500, that's a whole lot of money, Gordon. And right now we're wrestling for the money, and I looked right there. I'm shocked. As you can see, we're both bewildered. Neither one of us trust each other, but sometimes you got to put things aside, and I really was hesitant. I couldn't believe, I could not believe that Jesse Barr and I were the last two in the ring. Now here we are. We finally agreed. Put all things aside. We're going to go for the money. I still don't trust Jesse Barr. I'm out there basically trying to win the match myself because I'm kind of hesitant to tag him. As the match goes on here, you're going to see Jesse Barr. The only time he wants to come into the ring is when our opponents are down right here.
Well, you were certainly carrying the brunt of the battle. Now he's rather anxious to tag up because obviously you have your man in trouble, and so the tag is made. And
right, and I'm trying not to turn my back on Jesse Barr because I've realized in the past that that's something that you cannot do. And the people out there were really a big help to me. You know, they're kind of getting with me. They helped me a lot right here. They got me in a little bit of trouble. Double teaming on me. Blanchard goes up to the top rope.
Tully Blanchard, of course, the NWA television champion and tremendous competitor, no question about that. Great crowd on hand to witness these matches, I might add, a capacity crowd. But you still got some problems, and I don't see Mr. Barr.
No, that's right. And Jesse Barr's going to prove once and for all here who the real Florida chicken is. There you go. I kicked the one, moved into an inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. There it is. We won the $15,000. You missed something a little earlier. I went to tag Jesse Barr, and he walked down the ring and refused to tag me. And, Gordon, that's something that I won't forget. I promise you that. There they are. They're getting ready to hand me the check right now. And this is what I want all the people of Florida to see right now. I'm down. I've worked my fanny off. There's a typical Jesse Barr right there. Hits me.
Caught you from behind and ran off with the check for $15,000.
Yeah, exactly, Gordon. Now, you know as well as I do, that's not right. How can a man take $15,000? Apparently, he thought because he had the check that he had all the money. Now, you know better than that. The NWA, I know, is not going to let that get away.
Well, as a matter of fact, they're not. I might just point out to you, and here is an envelope with your share, $7,500, your share of that $15,000. You have that back now for whatever consolation that is, Brian. But I'll tell you what, before we go any farther, I think we have some videotape comments from Mr. Jesse Barr that I think you should pay heed to at this time.
You know, being the heavyweight champion of the state of Florida, I deserve a certain amount of respect. I deserve the benefit of the doubt, and I can't believe what's going on around here. Not only in one circumstances, but two. I am put in a battle royal, and under certain circumstances, I am forced to have a partner that is no good, a partner that I can't even believe that I have to have as a partner. And not only that, I win the battle royal all by myself for $15,000, and they try to hold that money away from me. And then, in the same week, they take my title away from me when nobody beat me. Nobody beat me. My shoulders weren't to the mat. There's nobody to beat me. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, I said, you know, I have took it all that I can stand, and this is the final moment. You know, I am willing
to put my $7,500 up, even though that I won that battle royal all by myself without any help from my so-called partner, Brian Blair. I won that match all by myself, and now they're holding my title. You put your $7,500 up if you're man enough, because I'm putting mine up. And if you got the guts, get in that ring, and you'll never get another shot.
Well,
Well, it's obvious, you know, Gordon, you saw the tape right there. The tape spoke for itself. I'm the one that pinned Krusher Kruschev. 1, 2, 3. We won the Battle Royal, and I do say we in a loose term. And as far as I'm concerned, Jesse Barr, we'll put the $7,500 up. We'll go for the $15,000. I want the Florida title. I don't care about this. If you want to talk about $7,500, Jesse Barr, I'll give you the $7,500, and I'll take it back out of your hide a nickel at a time. Because I promise you one thing. When I go to bed at night, you're the last thing on my mind. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind, and I'm tired of it. You've been running the people down. The Florida title's up in the air right now. We're going to settle this once and for all. $15,000, the Florida title. It's all coming down, Jesse Barr. If I don't win that belt, if I'm not here, Gordon, on TV with that Florida heavyweight title next week, I promise you my name's not Brian Blair.
fair enough. There you have it. So the challenge has been accepted by Mr. B, Brian Blair. And, well, it'll be interesting to find out how Mr. Barr is going to fare. And Joshua Stroud. Stroud, by the way, in the red trunks, has just signed on with the Orlando Renegades in the United States Football League, and is a wrestler in the off-season. So it's Jay Youngblood moving out first against the Raider. Youngbloods, of course, the new U.S. Tag Team Champions, as we said. Immediately following this match, buddy, we're going to be hearing from the boss man. And I'll tell you, he is quite an individual.
Well, you know, I have been hearing about the boss man for several weeks now. I have yet to see him, but from what I have heard, this man is something else, you know. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Indeed. Also, of course, a little bit later on, Buddy Cold will be having a special Take 5 segment with the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair. And some special accolades that have gone to Mr. Flair of late. Off the ropes now, Mark Youngblood has made the tag. Catches the Raider in a side headlock, takes him to a hip lock takedown.
You can see the great versatility of Mark Youngblood here with that side headlock. He's keeping his weight up against the body of the Raider, forcing him to now. We're going to see, what's his name, Mr. Stroud in the ring in action. He hasn't been wrestling that many years, but he has been a great professional football player. He's been accepted by Orlando. He'll be playing pro ball there, and like Gordon just said, he wrestles in the off-season. And he's making some pretty good moves here. But Mark Youngblood comes over with a very nice body slam.
Youngblood staying ahead of him on that series, and now it's Mark tagging up with Jay Youngblood. Youngbloods, of course, Apache Indians, and brother. Backs to play, and then Youngblood catches the Raider. And Stroud coming up very slowly as he caught the back of his head.
You know, it's quite an impressive body on Stroud here. The man is just solid muscle. Looks like there's no body fat on him at all.
Off the ropes, caught him with a good shoulder smash. Drops him back to the canvas once again. And Stroud coming up rather slowly. His face grimacing in pain. Youngbloods catching Stroud, driving him back to the canvas once again.
Well, the Youngbloods now, of course, being the U.S. Tag Team Champions, this speaks for itself as to their ability. And down goes Stroud again. Youngblood going over, making another quick tag. You see these, the experience of these two men, always trying to stay close to the corner, getting that fresh man in the ring.
Off the ropes, got him coming in. Drove him back to the canvas. And the Raider started to come in, and as he did, he was cut off at the pass. And so, Mark and Jay Youngblood, the new U.S. Tag Team Champions, successful in their first appearance since winning the Tag Team Championship here on Championship Wrestling 85. Well, we've been talking so much about the boss man, and believe you me, I think you're going to find that he is a most impressive individual. Whether you like him or not, he is definitely in charge of things. Let's take a look at this special feature on the boss man.
Norvell, what do you think, baby? You know what? us, everywhere we go. Where's the boss man? Where's the boss? Where's the baddest man in the world today? Guess what? He's on his way, baby. He is here now. He is here right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Pick up the phone and call somebody and tell them that the boss man is here, baby, live and in color. Well, all right.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Who did you think it was going to be? Y'all been wondering, haven't you? Gordon Solie, in your holy eminence, you stand up there with your rose on your collar, the best wrestling announcer in the world. You didn't even know. In fact, I heard you was even calling all over trying to find out who I was. Dutch Mantell, I hope you didn't take anything personally last week. I just goes to show you what Percy can do when he wants to do. Percy is the name, Percival Pringle III, but y'all can call me Percy.
All right, go ahead on this.
Y'all can call me Percy. But you got to do it with a little bit of respect, because I love respect. Can you break love, man? Perfection. Can I break dance? Well, all right. I can do anything. My mama taught me how to do everything. The PYTs, the greatest tag team in professional wrestling today. You have the pleasure of seeing them behind me. These gentlemen work together like clockwork. They're like two fine precision gears, back and forth, until defeat is brought down. Everybody been wanting to know who I am. Now you know you're going to be seeing me everywhere. I've made contact with some other wrestlers. I have the Pretty Young Things, the top tag team in the world today. I have another man by the name of Ravishing Rick Rude. I'm bringing him in. He's perfection. He has the body. These men here hasn't even had a championship match yet. But I'm bringing Rick Rude in. He's going to be a champion. They're going to be a champion. All I do is deal in champions. And you're going to find that out. That's right. I'm good at everything that I do. I want you to watch Rick Rude right now.
All right. Get on down, Rick.
I didn't want you to see too much of him. It's like a fine wine. I want you to just open the bottle, smell a little bit, just get a little taste. Because in a little while, you're going to get a lot more of him. He is fantastic. His body is fantastic. I want all you girls just to keep your hands off of him, because he is mine. He is mama's. I don't want no lusting in your heart. I don't want you even talk to him at the matches. He's mine and all mine, and you can't have any. And I want to tell you one thing. I could have had a USFL contract. I could have had anything for Christmas. Mama said, just write what you want. Just write a check for it. I said, no, I want to be in wrestling. I want to have me some wrestlers. I want some men that get physical. Speaking of getting physical, I've just signed another contract with the greatest wrestler in the world today. He's like a paving contractor. He's going to get his bulldozer, and he's going to pave us a road all the way to the top. He's going to pave them a road to the tag team championship. He's going to pave Rick Rude a road to the world heavyweight championship. The missing link. Let's bang our head. All right.
Well, all I can say is we now know who the boss man is, and he certainly bodes a lot of evil for a lot of people.
Well, I tell you, it really has me impressed. He has a lot of people there, and what do you call it, his stable of wrestlers, or his...
his entourage, what have you. They're big, they're powerful. This missing link is a very, very dangerous individual, no question about it.
Well, it looks like they're going to really be wreaking some havoc here in Florida.
It does look that way indeed. Things do not look good for a lot of folks, I'll tell you. But Mr. Pringle, the boss man, seems to be having things going his way. We'll be back in a moment.
Well, I'm waiting for the arrival of Ric Flair right now, the world's heavyweight wrestling champion. I see he's coming out of the dressing room now. Well, Rick, I would like to congratulate you on being named Pro Wrestler of the Year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, and that's quite an honor.
Well, buddy, when you're talking about Ric Flair, you're talking about the World Heavyweight Championship scene, you're talking about quality athletes, you're talking about big-time sports. And the name Ric Flair always is at the top of the list. I just happen to be the greatest athlete alive today. I chose wrestling as a profession. Could have been a surgeon, could have been a lawyer, probably could have been an astronaut. I could be anything I wanted to be because I am the best. I've got it here. I've got it here. And I stand in front of you telling you that I'm the greatest wrestler alive today, the World Heavyweight Champion. So it's no secret that when 25 or 30,000 people around the United States call me the best wrestler, and they award me a trophy saying that I'm the Wrestler of the Year. You can see right now I'm on television. They put together a little segment on Ric Flair. It's not hard to put a segment on the greatest athlete alive today on television, but it's
Well, Rick, I would like to concur with everything you've said. You, of course, are no doubt the greatest wrestler right now because you are the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. But this coming week, here in Florida, in Fort Pierce, in Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, and tonight in Lakeland, you have some matches coming up. Now, you are going against the very best wrestlers in the world in these matches. And I, for one, feel that...
Wait just a minute. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that Florida's recognized as one of the greatest wrestling centers anywhere in the world. But if you're calling on a guy like Michael Hayes, or a punk like Dutch Mantell, or guys like the Youngbloods and Scott McGee and B. Brian Blair, if you're calling them the best that wrestling has to offer, then I'm telling you, you're going to start an argument out here. I'm qualified. Hey, you paid to look at it, brother, not talk to it. You understand? Now, I see there's a lot of ignorant people behind me. This state is full of ignorant people. But you have to understand that the state of Florida is starved for the sight of a quality athlete. When all the state of Florida has to cheer for are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where are they today? Or the Miami Dolphins, you know they're going down. Or some USL football team in Orlando that hasn't even got started yet. Or Michael Hayes, or Dutch Mantell, then you got to know why the women in the state of Florida have got to be starved for the sight of a real man. Custom made from head to toe. Unquestionably, the greatest athlete alive today.
Well, Rick, of course, you are the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. No one is disputing that. But with the opponents this week, I, for one, feel that when you leave Florida at the end of the week, you may not be the World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, buddy, Colt, you're paid to come out here and be real objectionable in what you say. I understand that. And don't misunderstand me. There's a lot of great competition here because I'm telling you, Blair and Hayes and Dutch Mantell, in my opinion, are the greatest. Doesn't mean that they aren't. You see, I'm telling you the story the way I want to tell it. It's my time. I'll tell it like I want to. But tonight in Lakeland, for one, Mantell, we're going to straighten it all out. And when I get back here next week, Hayes, Blair, Pez, Watley, sweet brown sugar, I don't care. Line up. You're going to have your chance to put your mark in the wrestling world in 1985. And the way to do that is to make Ric Flair even look temporarily embarrassed. It can't be done. Ladies, learn to love it. It's going to be here for a long, long time.
Well, Rick, we'd like to thank you for being here. Happy New Year to you, and we'll be right back.
Championship Wrestling, of course, in 1985 will continue its quest in the search of missing children around the United States. And we'd like to bring two children to your attention at this particular time. The first young lady is Melissa Marie Cheney. Melissa is a 16-year-old. She is 5'11" and weighs 165 pounds. She was last seen September 11th, 1984 in Palatka, Florida. They may be somewhere in the center of the state or possibly in Georgia. Anyone having any information, please call 1-800-342-0821 in Florida. Outside outside of Florida, please call 1-904-488-5221. Our second missing child is Luther Brian Gray. He is an 8-year-old. Anyone having any information on Luther Brian Gray, call either of those numbers. Sweet Brown Sugar getting set to move out against Terry Ellis. One fall, television time remaining.
Well, this here will prove to be a real test for Terry Ellis. I'll tell you one thing that he really has to watch out for is this high, devastating drop kick of Sweet Brown Sugar. I think Sweet Brown Sugar has the most impressive drop kick I have ever seen in professional wrestling. He gets so high that the momentum is coming down on his opponent. And once he connects, it's normally all over.
Sweet Brown Sugar, of course, the top challenger for that World Heavyweight Championship currently held by Ric Flair. By the way, Flair will be in Sarasota on the 19th and will be defending his title. It's also going to be a steel cage match. Coach John Heath has sent us word on that, so I would say there's going to be a lot of excitement at Robarts Arena.
That's right. That's January 19th in Sarasota, with the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion being there, and Coach John Heath always goes all out to get the very best there. Now here's Sweet Brown Sugar with a side headlock on Terry Ellis. You notice he has the full weight of his upper torso against the upper chest of Terry Ellis, just forcing that oxygen out of his system.
Up against those ring ropes and the turnbuckle right now. Ellis drives the knee on the break. And a short forearm, another forearm that rocks Sweet Brown Sugar. And Sugar could be in some trouble here as Ellis catches him with another forearm. Ellis, tremendously powerful individual. And Sweet Brown Sugar in trouble, jammed into that turnbuckle. And Sweet Brown Sugar fires back. And Ellis's eyes rolled as he hit the canvas.
Well, it looked like Ellis felt the conventional methods of wrestling weren't doing any good. He tried the rough-out tactics, and they have backfired on him. I'll tell you, Sweet Brown Sugar is as tough as they come. He is World Championship wrestling material from the word go.
Sweet Brown Sugar really punishing Terry Ellis, and Ellis dazed and stunned as he was jammed into that retaining wall. Sweet Brown Sugar brings him up. A full body slam. And Sweet Brown Sugar now going up to that second ring rope. And that one all but ripped his head off. He caught him with a drop kick coming off the ropes. And Sweet Brown Sugar made his presence felt very, very quickly with one Terry Ellis. Ellis's big mistake was trying to take those shortcuts.
That's right. I tell you, when you go up against a man like Sweet Brown Sugar, you have to be so careful that he is not able to put you up in a position with that drop kick, because once he connects, like I said before, it is all over.
It was indeed. Well, we heard from the boss man finally. And as I said earlier, of course, that portends to be a lot of trouble for a lot of people. He's bringing in this man, Rick Rude, also the missing link, the Pretty Young Things. I would say that some of the tag teams in this area are in for a lot of trouble, because the Pretty Young Things obviously have their sights set on the U.S. Tag Team Championship held now by Mark and Jay Youngblood. I certainly want to wish them well in 1985. They're an outstanding team.
Yes, they certainly are, the new United States Tag Team Champions. But, you know, going back just briefly to the missing link, I have been hearing about the reputation of this man for quite some time now. He has injured and put many professional wrestlers completely out of wrestling with his tactics in the ring. And it seems like with this new boss man bringing him in, there's going to be a lot of problems here in Florida.
There are indeed, and Ric Flair, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion's got his problems too. Beginning tonight in Lakeland, of course, then he'll be in Fort Pierce on the 14th, on Fort Lauderdale on the 16th, the 19th, of course, in Sarasota. I'll tell you what, Mr. Flair is going to have his hands full. Till next week, this will be Gordon Solie speaking on behalf of Buddy Colt. So long.
If you're looking for excitement, action, or maybe a little comedy mixed in for fun, Channel 6 has it all on the Saturday One.
Prizes worth over $200.
Saturday at 6:30 on WCIX Channel 6.
On the Dukes. The Dukes and Boss get together